Hi, today I'm reviewing the Drunk Elephant Bouncy Brightfacial Brightening Mask with 10% azelaic acid and 1% salicylic acid. And really quick, I purchase all these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsor ads or videos. So if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsview.com, join my Patreon community, or click on the link below. And anyway, so I purchased this with my own darn money because Cameron the other day clicked on the wrong button and it made it look like a paid promotion. So I fired him. And I'm hiring Ike. Except his pepperoni demand is getting very high. And anyway. And now him and Lincoln, I don't know. They're about to go on strike. So. Okay, so I'm not a huge Drunk Elephant fan anymore. I mean, they're now owned by Shiseido, which is, they're just kind of a different brand. But I can't help but notice the link between this and the Paula's Choice 10% azelaic acid with BHA in it. I can't help it but notice the similarities between those two. However, the formulas of them are so different that they don't even end up being dupes, really. So, interesting. And this has a lot of ingredients. So, anyway, okay, so they call this a leave-on mask that visibly boosts radiance, clarifies uneven skin tone, fades spots, and reduces redness to reveal a brighter, bouncier, more even-looking complexion, which I agree with most of that, except I don't really consider this to be a mask. It's more of a cream, and I don't use this as my last step, but anyway. I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's really not a mask. I don't know why they're labeling it like that. Maybe to differentiate themselves from the Paula's Choice one. I don't know, but I do agree azelaic acid is great for evening skin tone, helping with redness, fading dark spots. So if you haven't tried it in your routine, I highly recommend giving it a try because it is really an amazing ingredient that I think is getting talked about more, which it deserves. Okay, first criteria is packaging. No issues with the packaging. Pump bottle, although I will say this pump kind of dries and then you have to deal with the little clump every time you use it. Whatever, it's just annoying, but in terms of denatured drying types of alcohol, it does not contain any of those. It's also fragrance-free and has no real scent to it. It's manufactured in the U.S. Okay, so I'll do a quick pH test. I think Drunk Elephant mentions the pH is about 5 on this, which for azelaic acid, that pH is not an issue. For salicylic acid, I find salicylic acid functions better when the pH is below 4 for me. There's some people that disagree with that. Whatever your opinion is fine. It doesn't matter to me, but I just notice it for myself. So I don't really notice the azelaic acid in this one doing quite as much as it would perhaps if the pH were lower. However, if the pH were that much lower, it'd be more drying for some people, more irritating. So there's always that give and take. Okay, so I'm going to do a little pH. Water's the first ingredient of this, so let me see if I can get a reading on the pH thing for this. It might not because it's a cream. We'll see. Okay. So the pH, it does look like it's just a little bit above 5, or maybe almost right on 5, which sounds right, which sounds similar to what Drunk Elephant stated in their marketing for this, so I mean, no real issues with that unless you're really looking forward to the salicylic acid in here really functioning very well. It may not. It may. There's not a ton of real research on it to show either one. But anyway, so I really don't think it has a mask texture. It's got a cream texture, but it smooths into skin really nicely. I will say a little bit of this does not go a long way. I need at least 3 full pumps to cover my whole face. So normally with something, if it has like a lighter texture, like a pump or half a pump will cover my face. My face is kind of tiny. But this one I need a solid 3 pumps, which means it will not last very long. Probably about a month. Maybe with daily use, maybe 5 weeks. Depends on how much you're able to, how far you're able to get a little bit of it to go. So they recommend apply 2 to 3 pumps as the last step in your nighttime or daytime routine. I recommend using this in your nighttime routine. And in your daytime routine, use ascorbic acid or use a good antioxidant serum. I wouldn't recommend azelaic acid in your daytime routine, especially if you want to use something like vitamin C or a good antioxidant serum. It's just better if you can use it at night. And azelaic acid is a unique one because it plays well with all these other ingredients. So you can really use it with retinol or whatever you want to use it with. It plays well with everything. Then you throw the BHA in here. Kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in and kind of limits what you can use it with because BHAs don't typically play well with a lot of other things. But the pH is high, so I've had luck using this at night with my retinol without any issues, except for possibly more dryness, so keep that in mind. but I have been using it in the daytime routine. They also recommend mixing this with C-Firma vitamin C serum during the day and mixing with the Proteini resurfacing serum. I don't know. All their mixing stuff, I just don't recommend following a lot of that, especially when they recommend mixing the bronzer with the sunscreen. It's like, you know what? We're not chemists here. You're not going to be mixing a bronzer with the sunscreen because that does affect how well your sunscreen works. It might not affect it a ton, but it does. So anyway, I think it's all to sell more stuff. Like, hey, mix it with this, mix it with this. Buy everything from us, and you can just mix everything up and pretend to be a chemist. But that's what we pay the big money from the brands for, is for them to do it for us. So anyway, so I don't recommend doing it in the daytime. I recommend using it at night if possible. I recommend doing a patch test just because azelaic acid, for most people, won't be an issue, but the BHA in there could be an issue for some people. So do a patch test before you use this on your face. Otherwise, yeah, so I don't use this as my last step. I apply this more as a moisturizer, and then I apply a thicker sleeping mask afterwards, especially if I'm using my tretinoin during the same routine. But I try and have them steps apart. To be honest, this BHA isn't enough where I don't feel like you could totally kill two birds with one stone using it. I just don't. I have been able to use this in my same routine, like with the Geek and Gorgeous Calm Down Liquid Exfoliant. I'll use that. Then I'll apply my other products, and I'll apply this later on and not having had any issues with using two exfoliants in the same routine. But it all depends on how sensitive your skin is. If you're new to this, don't play around with anything else. Just add this in your routine and see how your skin handles it before you start adding any other actives to the same routine. So anyway, okay. In terms of animal testing, this is cruelty-free, so no issues with that. In terms of performance, I believe this has helped brighten up my skin a bit. I'm on the road to really helping to brighten my skin up. That's what really, one of the things that got me interested in skincare was noticing all these dark spots and how strange it looked. And then seeing sun damage and trying to, it's always easier to prevent it than it is to treat it later on. So don't do what I did, prevent it before it even starts. But it does help with those dark spots, melasma, hyperpigmentation. It's very easy to use. The BHA hasn't helped as much as it usually would. Like, I'll notice it helps with other products in terms of blackheads, breakouts, and preventing things like that. I don't notice it's super effective in this, but I can't say it's not. So, okay, in terms of acne-prone skin, we've got a few ingredients of note. We've got squalane, ascorbyl palmitate, vitamin E, sorbitol isostearate, and cetyl alcohol. So there's a few things to be aware of. So it might not be the best for super acne-prone skin. In terms of the price, so this is the full size, 1.69 ounces, 50 milliliters, and retails for $68. So if you're in the market for a more affordable, budget-friendly azelaic acid serum, the one from Peach Slices is wonderful. The A-Pad from Geek and Gorgeous is wonderful. You don't need to spend $70 on this. I think I got it on sale when Sephora had their sale. So anyway. Okay, in terms of the ingredients, and then I'll talk about the it factor. So we've got 10% azelaic acid. It's a great anti-acne, skin brightening ingredient. It has antibacterial, cell regulating, anti-inflammatory, and skin lightening properties. Great for acne-prone skin as well as rosacea-prone skin. Can help with skin cell production and pores, and helps with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation as well as melasma. We've got 1% salicylic acid, BHA. It's an exfoliant, anti-acne, as well as a soothing ingredient. I have a feeling in this product it functions more as a soothing ingredient than an anti-acne or exfoliant. Great for treating problem skin, and works great with azelaic acid. We've got pumpkin seed oil, which is a good emollient and skin conditioning ingredient. Let's see, we've got chia seed oil, good emollient, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory ingredient rich in fatty acids. Marula seed oil, moisturizing oil. It can improve skin hydration and smoothness and also help with redness. We've got diglucosyl, gallic acid, also known as Brightenil, which is a biotechnologically created molecule that is activated by the skin's microbiome that acts as a skin brightening, anti-inflammatory, and photoprotecting ingredient. The manufacturer of it has done a 12-week study, double-blind study, that shows using 2% of this Brightenil on 20 people concluded that it controls skin tone via the inhibition of melanin synthesis, which melanin is what dark spots in their skin pop up. as well as the modulation of skin brightness, yellowness, and redness. And they also showed before and after photos. So I'm guessing based on where this falls in the ingredient list, there's nowhere near 2% in this because this falls significantly after salicylic acid, which is 1%. So it doesn't have much of it. Maybe we don't need 2% to be effective, but it's nice to see some new technology showing up. Let's see. Then we've got niacinamide, anti-acne, skin brightening, barrier repairing. We've got Phloretin, which is a good antioxidant. Let's see. We've got Allantoin, which is a good skin soothing ingredient. We've got ferulic acid, good antioxidant. Licorice root, skin brightening, soothing antioxidant. Silver ear mushroom extract, humectant and antioxidant. Linoleic acid, also known as vitamin F, skin identical ingredient emollient. Tutrinol, which is a type of vitamin E that has skin protecting and hydrating properties. Alpha-lipoic acid, water-soluble antioxidant that can also help heal skin as well as help with photoaging. Let's see, linoleic acid, another skin-identical ingredient form of vitamin F. Ergothioneine, antioxidant. Cholesterol, ceramide NS, ceramide AP, ceramide EOP, ceramide EOS, ceramide NP. They're all skin-identical ingredients and also help with barrier repairing. Sodium hyaluronic cross polymer, humectant. We've got squalane, skin-identical ingredient. Acetylglucosamine, skin brightening, anti-wrinkle ingredient. Pomegranate extract, antioxidant. Rice bran oil, antioxidant emollient. And then finally, vitamin E and antioxidant. All long ingredient list. I mean, this ingredient list covers this entire box. Pretty much the entire box. And it's small. So we've got a lot of ingredients here, which, I mean, for super sensitive skin where it reacts to certain ingredients, it could be an issue. So keep that in mind. In terms of the it factor, it's definitely a competitor to Paula's Choice Azelaic acid plus salicylic acid, but their formulations aren't very similar. There's really no good real dupes to this, which probably just because of the long ingredient list. But, I mean, if you're in the market for a more affordable, still cruelty-free one, the one from Peach Slice is absolutely wonderful. I love it. This stuff is really nice. It's expensive. It's a nice product. I think it has helped continue to brighten my skin up. And, I mean, I want to repurchase it, but, I mean, I'll definitely finish it because I do like the texture and everything else. It's not really a mask, but it's more of an azelaic acid moisturizer treatment product, which is still really nice. So, anyway, with a 10 being a perfect score, I gave this one an 8, and it's really darn expensive again. So maybe you can buy it on sale. I don't know. It's worth it if you can buy it on sale. I don't know if I'd pay $70 for it, but anyway. Anyway, so interested hearing from you guys if you had a chance to check this one out yet or not, and if you have what your thoughts are. So leave a comment. Love hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.